7:51, it is time for today's News Extra. And with our program, here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. And we're going to probably educate you on an organization that you probably don't know hardly anything about. And they do some wonderful things in this state, and they have an event coming up next month that you want to know about, maybe get some tickets for. We're talking about the Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, and Mary Kate Gulick is here. She's the Associate Vice President of Marketing Strategy for the foundation, and Barb Scholthauer, a very familiar name for many of you, is also here. She's on the board for this particular organization. So we're going to talk to Mary Kate first and have her explain exactly what the foundation does.
Thanks, Kevin. Nebraska Children really focuses on making opportunities for children all over the state of Nebraska. In the Panhandle specifically, we fund child abuse prevention work, early childhood education, after school and summer school programs for young people, as well as helping older youth who are aging out of the foster care system so that they can have a good shot at life when they're transitioning to adulthood. Over the years, the foundation has funneled $2.8 million into the Panhandle, and so much of that has gone to the behind-the-scenes work that the organizations out here are doing to work with children and to improve lives for children and families all over the area.
That's pretty amazing. $2.8 million funneled here in the Panhandle. And how long has your organization been involved in this?
We've been doing work since 1997 as Nebraska Children and Families Foundation. And actually, the Panhandle was one of our first really important initiatives. We worked a lot with what's called the Panhandle Partnership for Health and Human Services now, and they've been around for 15 years. So our histories kind of coincide, and yeah, we've been working with the Panhandle since the beginning, since we existed.
All right, that's wonderful. All right, let's talk to Barb here real quick. We'll get her on. So, Barb, with all this being done here in the Panhandle, their annual fundraising event for this organization this year is right here in the Panhandle, and probably for a couple specific reasons, right?
That's right, Kevin. This year, the annual fundraising event, which is called Up Pour, is going to be held at the Gearing Civic Center on Thursday, October 23rd, from 11:30 to 1:30. And the reason that they have decided to use the Panhandle for this event this year is that they are going to give special recognition to Senator John Harms to recognize him for all the work he's done for youth over his years with WNCC and as well as his time in the legislature. And then they're also going to be giving special recognition to the Panhandle Partnership and for everything that they've done to help with all the children's issues. So it's going to be a great event, and it's open to the public, and $35 a ticket. And you can go online to get your tickets at nebraskachildren.org, or you can also call me if you want to, and I can make sure that you get tickets to the event. And my phone number is 436-5724.
All right, very good. So we'll talk more about this right after this break.
The Huskers play here.
Abdullah got a hole, 45, skip the tackle, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
The Big Red hosts McNeese State Saturday. Kickoff at 10 a.m. Catch all 5 hours of pregame coverage starting with Husker Game Day at 5 a.m. on 960 a.m. KNEB. The Bo Pelini pregame show starts at 9:10 on 94.1 The Brand. Every snap, every play, every score. The Huskers play on 960 KNEB and 94.1 The Brand.
We're back on News Extra. Our guests today are Mary Kate Gulick. She is the Associate Vice President of Marketing Strategy for Nebraska Children and Families Foundation. You may hear them simply called by a lot of people as just Nebraska Children, but they do a wonderful work of funneled $2.8 million into this area for the benefit of children that are abuse prevention, for foster kids coming out of foster care and things like that. And Barb Scholthauer is also here. She is a board member for this organization that many of you probably hadn't heard of before. And Barb, why did you decide to become a board member?
Well, Kevin, a year ago I was retiring, and I've always had an interest in education and youth. And I also have a brother that lives in Hastings, and he had been on this board for 6 years and was going off of the board. And they asked him if he knew of anyone in western Nebraska who might be interested in serving on this board. And he said, well, yes, my sister. And so that's how I kind of got involved. But I just love it. And I'm really learning. I think it takes, there's a little bit of a learning curve. I think it takes a year or two to figure out the whole system. It's a pretty big organization, and I'm really enjoying the people that are involved in it.
That's wonderful. All right, Mary Kate, we'll get you back on here, and we'll talk to you here about this award that we're given. It's called the Grace Abbott Award that we're given to Senator Harms and to the Panhandle Partnership for Health and Human Services. They're getting the Mike Yanney Community Award. So obviously these two people, Grace Abbott and Mike Yanney, must be pretty special people as far as Nebraska Children are concerned, right?
Oh, they absolutely are. Grace Abbott is just really someone that Nebraska can be proud of. She's one of the founders of the child welfare movement in the United States, and she's from Grand Island, Nebraska, and not a lot of people know that. She worked with Jane Addams at Hull House in the early 20th century, and she did more work on behalf of children than just about anybody in the country at that time. She really did a lot to pull children out of dangerous labor situations, to get them out of abusive situations, and to make sure that children in that era, which was a pretty dangerous era in America's cities for children, had safe and stable homes to live in. So she did a great deal of work for that, and we're very proud to call her a Nebraskan, and that's why our honorees are given the Grace Abbott Award.
All right. And what about Mike Yanney? What do we know about him?
Mr. Yanney is from Kearney, Nebraska, and he has done a lot of community work all over the state, just kind of pulling funds together and organizations together. That's why we call it the Mike Yanney Community Award, because he's really focused his work on getting people to the table, getting the right people to talk about children's issues, and to bring that money from all sectors to get things done. So that's one of the reasons that the Panhandle Partnership is being honored with that award, is because they've done just that. They have gotten everybody who needs to be at the table there, and instead of competing for dollars, they've cooperated. They've become what we consider to be a model for collaboration. If everybody in the world and the state government could work the way the Panhandle Partnership works, things would get done a lot more efficiently.
You know, there are some coalitions here in the Panhandle because of the fact that we don't have a lot of people here and we're spread out so much. We have to kind of work together. And you know, this particular coalition and partnership, like you said, is a model, and some others are as well, and that's kind of the way we get things done around here, for the most part, except for a couple of cities I know.
I think that's the only way to get things done. I mean, resources are scarce, and if you're not going to kind of rally your strengths and your resources around a common goal, it's a lot more difficult to get things done, and the Panhandle Partnership really recognized that, and they... Honestly, I try to do things in my own employment life more the way that they do things, just because it's so darn effective.
All right. Once again, real quick, talk about the event here real fast, and how you get tickets, and really how people should really think about going to this on October 23rd.
Yeah, it'll be a wonderful time to recognize Senator Harms and the Panhandle Partnership, and it is a Thursday, October 23rd at the noon hour, 11:30 to 1:30 at the Gulick Civic Center, and you can get your tickets online at nebraskachildren.org, or you can call me, Barb Scholthauer, at 436-5724, and I will get you tickets. We'd love to see you all there.
Very good. Good to see you again, Barb.
Good to see you.
And thank you, Mary Kate. We appreciate you having in from the other end of the state.
Thanks for having me. I always love coming out.
All right. Don't forget, October 23rd is that big event, 11:30 to 1:30 at the Civic Center.